Being a kid on Christmas during the 1960s and 1970s was a magical feeling. It was the decade of talking dolls and race cars, and the Christmas season was the perfect opportunity for kids to get the it toy of the season. In this video, we'll take a trip down memory lane as we revisit 20 Christmas toys from the 60s and 70s. Number 1. Easy Bake Oven. When the Easy Bake Oven hit the shelves in 1963, it was like giving kids a ticket to the adult world of cooking. It was made by Kenner Products and came with small packets of cake mix and tiny pans, allowing kids to bake everything from chocolate cakes to sugar cookies. The Easy Bake Oven was famous among kids because it was both fun and grown up. It gave kids a sense of independence and excitement of creating something they could actually eat. For parents, it was the perfect gift. Fun, safe, and endlessly entertaining. The original Easy Bake Oven used a 100-watt incandescent light bulb to reach baking temperatures, which was impressive at the time. Over the decades, the design evolved, but the iconic oven for kids concept never went out of style. Even today, the Easy Bake Oven is remembered fondly as a holiday classic. Number 2. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Very few toys capture the excitement of friendly competition like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. These battling robots, Red Rocker and Blue Bomber, came in a small boxing ring controlled by players with joystick levers. Kids absolutely loved guiding their robots to throw punches until one landed a satisfying pop to the opponent's head, sending it flying upwards. This game gave kids the joy of boxing without any real bruises. It was physical, fun, and entertaining. The iconic POW sound and the head-popping action were signature features that turned a simple game into a kid's favorite. This game made a comeback in the 2000s when nostalgia for retro toys hit everyone. Number 3. G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe action figure was all the rave in the 60s, and for good reason. This soldier doll stood 12 inches tall with a detailed uniform and accessories. G.I. Joe opened up a new world, especially for boys who wanted their own dynamic action figures instead of dolls. G.I. Joe's introduction even led to the term action figure, as Hasbro wanted to avoid any association with dolls. Over the years, the action figure became extremely popular, inspiring cartoons, comics, and movies. Number 4. Operation Game. In 1965, Milton Bradley introduced Operation, a game that turned kids into surgeons, tasked with removing ailments like a funny bone or butterflies in the stomach. The idea was to use metal tweezers and avoid touching the sides of the patient, a character named Cavity Sam. Touching the sides of the patient would trigger a buzzer and a flashing red nose. The game was all about precision and a bit of luck. The game was unique because it combined suspense and humor. Every player tried to be the doctor with a steady hand, and everyone laughed or jumped when the buzzer went off. It was a fun way for kids to test their motor skills and have a blast doing it. The game was actually inspired by a university project designed by a pre-med student. Today, Operation remains one of the best-selling board games of all time. Number 5. Spirograph. The Spirograph was an enchanting drawing tool that allowed kids to create intricate, colorful designs using gears, pens, and paper. The concept was based on mathematical principles, although most kids probably didn't realize they were learning about geometry while having fun. Spirograph kits came with various gears and colored pens, inspiring hours of artistic creation. The Spirograph tapped into kids' creative and artistic sides, giving them a unique way to make something that felt almost magical. It was especially appealing because every design was different, making each creation feel like a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. The original Spirograph was based on a design created by a British engineer. The toy went on to win the Toy of the Year award in the 60s. Number 6. Twister. Twister hit the scene in 1966. Courtesy of the Milton Bradley Company. It had a large mat covered in colorful dots, and players would spin the wheel and then place a hand or foot on the corresponding color. What started as a simple game could quickly turn into a hilarious tangle of friends and family trying to keep their balance. Twister was one of the first games to get players physically involved. It was social, playful, and often funny, perfect for parties and family gatherings. The game even received a popularity boost when Johnny Carson played it with actress Ava Gabor on The Tonight Show. Initially, retailers were hesitant to stock Twister, thinking the game was too provocative. But after the Tonight Show demonstration, demand skyrocketed. Number 7. Hot Wheels. Mattel introduced Hot Wheels in 1968. It was a game changer for toy cars. Kids could race their Hot Wheels on tracks that Mattel also produced, turning bedrooms into high-speed raceways. Each car had unique colors, designs, and features, making some children obsessed with collecting as many as they could. Hot Wheels stood out because of their speed and style. They offered something different from other toy cars of the time, sparking an entire culture around collecting and racing the cars. High-quality build, beautiful colors, and detailed designs gave kids something that felt fast, fun, and authentic. The first Hot Wheels car produced was a dark blue custom Camaro, and the initial line included 16 models known as the Sweet 16. Today, they're highly valued by collectors. Number 8. Lite-Brite. Lite-Brite, introduced by Hasbro in 1967, was a simple concept that offered hours of fun. It consisted of a light box with colored pegs that could be inserted into black paper templates to create glowing pictures. Kids could make everything from holiday scenes to superheroes, with a satisfying click as each peg went into place. The lights went off, the design lit up, bringing their creations to life. Lite-Brite was a hit because it combined art with a touch of magic. Kids could spend hours designing pictures and then proudly display them as glowing masterpieces. It was also an easy way for parents to introduce art and colors to their kids. Number 9. Barbie Dreamhouse. The Barbie Dreamhouse was something every little girl in the 1960s and 70s wanted from Santa. It allowed Barbie to live her glamorous life in a miniature mansion, complete with furniture, accessories, and style. Barbie's dream house provided a stage for endless storytelling. It wasn't just a house, it was an entire lifestyle kids could design and reshape as they wished. From play dates to parties, the dream house was a favorite spot for Barbie fans. A fun fact about the Barbie dream house is that the first dream house wasn't a mansion. It was a simple cardboard structure meant to resemble a modest 1960s studio apartment. Over the years, the dream house became larger and more luxurious, reflecting changing tastes and culture. Number 10. Creepy crawlers. The 1964 creepy crawler set by Mattel allowed kids to create rubbery bugs and creatures using molds, liquid plastic goop, and a small heater. Kids would pour the goop into metal molds, slide them into the thing maker, and soon have their own set of squishy, slightly scary insects. For kids who loved a touch of the creepy, this was the ultimate Christmas gift. It became extremely popular because it gave kids the excitement of making their own toys, which was something new in the 1960s. The bugs were colorful and a bit gross, but they allowed for imaginative play and endless creepy critters for pranks. Number 11. Etch-a-Sketch. The Etch-a-Sketch, invented by Andre Cassagne and first introduced by the Ohio Art Company in 1960, became an instant classic. With its two white knobs and magic gray screen, the Etch-a-Sketch allowed kids to draw lines, shapes, and patterns by twisting the knobs left and right. And if they weren't happy with their creation, all it took was a quick shake and the screen would clear, ready for another try. The Etch-a-Sketch brought together art, imagination, and a little bit of challenge. Learning to create precise lines and shapes took practice, and each new creation felt like an accomplishment. Plus, the ability to erase mistakes by shaking them made it completely fulfilling. The Etch-a-Sketch became one of the best-selling toys of all time. It even earned a place in the National Toy Hall of Fame and was featured in the movie Toy Story. Number 12. Chatty Cathy Doll. The Chatty Cathy doll was seen as a breakthrough in toy technology in the 60s. She was one of the first dolls that could talk, thanks to a pull string mechanism that played several recorded phrases. Cathy could say things like, "Please brush my hair," and "I love you," making her feel more alive than other dolls of her time. Chatty Cathy allowed children to interact with their dolls in a new way. Her voice made her feel more like a friend than a toy, and kids loved pulling the string to hear her talk. The original Chatty Cathy's voice was provided by June Foray, a famous voice actress who also voiced characters in the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. Chatty Cathy's design paved the way for other interactive dolls, making her a trailblazer in the toy world. Number 13. Viewmaster. The Viewmaster allowed kids to visit different places through 3D image reels. From Disneyland scenes to outer space, the Viewmaster offered children an exciting escape, an immersive experience with just a click of its lever. Each reel offered a new adventure, and the 3D effect was genuinely magical. The toy appealed to kids' curiosity and love of exploration, making it a favorite holiday gift. Fun fact, NASA even used Viewmasters as training tools for astronauts in the 1960s. Its popularity increased with themed reels featuring TV shows and movies, giving kids a way to relive their favorite scenes in a unique way. Number 14. Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head has been around since the 1950s, but it was the 1960s that saw him gain iconic status. Thanks to new designs and popular commercials, the toy allowed kids to attach various plastic features, eyes, ears, mouths, and more, to a plastic potato body. Kids could give Mr. Potato Head countless funny faces, sometimes making everyone laugh with the creativity of it all. Mr. Potato Head was the perfect option for kids to be creative while having fun. Children could create funny, silly, or even scary faces. The toy's humor and customizability made it a top seller, and it had the added appeal of a friendly face. Mr. Potato Head was the first toy to be advertised on television, marking a new era in toy marketing. The toy's appearance in Pixar's Toy Story only added to its legacy, introducing it to a whole new generation of fans. Number 15. Slinky. Slinky was a metal spring toy that could walk downstairs and make mesmerizing shapes with just a flick of the wrist. Its simplicity and uniqueness captivated kids everywhere, and soon enough, almost every household had a Slinky. The Slinky was a toy that did just one thing, but it did it exceptionally well. Its ability to walk down steps or stretch into unique shapes made it endlessly fun. The original Slinky was created by accident when an engineer named Richard James was working with tension springs. Over 300 million Slinkies have been sold, and they are still made in Pennsylvania, where they originated. Pretty impressive for an oopsie. Number 16. Little People Playsets. Little People Playsets features several small peg-shaped figures and furniture designed for different themes. Everything from farms to towns to schools. Kids can move the figures around to create their own tiny stories. Little People allowed kids to invent their narratives, turning playtime into a personalized adventure. Each set encouraged kids to explore their imagination while interacting with themes they recognized from their own lives. From driving cars to visiting the barn, it was all about creating little adventures. The original Little People were made of wood and later switched to plastic. Over time, the design became more detailed, adding expressive faces and accessories. Yet the concept remained timeless. Number 17. Weebles. Fisher-Price introduced Weebles in 1971, advertising them with the catchy phrase, "Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down." These egg-shaped, weighted figures were designed to roll and wobble without ever toppling over. Kids could bump them, spin them, and watch as they always came back up. Weebles were simple but addictive. Their unique design kept kids entertained as they watched the figures wobble without ever tipping over. Weebles were also durable, making them a favorite for both parents and kids. The wobbling effect is thanks to a weighted base that centers the figure, making it impossible to fall. Weebles are still remembered fondly. Their catchy slogan is still instantly recognizable to anyone who grew up in the 70s. Number 18. Pet Rock. In 1975, advertising executive Gary Dahl introduced one of the strangest toys of the decade, the Pet Rock. It came packaged in a small, straw-filled box complete with air holes. The Pet Rock didn't do anything, it was literally just a rock. But its absurdity became part of the appeal, and soon enough, children everywhere wanted one. The Pet Rock became a hit because it was so unexpected. In a time where toys were becoming more complex, simplicity and humor of the Pet Rock stood out. Dahl included a training manual with each Pet Rock, with tongue-in-cheek instructions on how to care for it. He sold over 1 million Pet Rocks in just a few months, making him a millionaire almost overnight. Number 19. Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong was a unique, super stretchy figure that kids could pull, twist, and stretch to extreme lengths before he returned to his original shape. With his blonde hair and muscled physique, Stretch was a sort of superhero who could withstand all kinds of rough play. A toy that encouraged kids to test his limits. Stretch Armstrong gave children an experience unlike anything else at the time. Kids loved testing just how far they could stretch him, creating fun and imaginative scenarios with their indestructible new friend. The toy's durability also made it a long-lasting playroom favorite. Fun fact, Stretch Armstrong's body was filled with a corn syrup gel, which allowed him to stretch up to 4 times his original size. Over the years, Stretch Armstrong became a collector's item, with intact figures from the 70s fetching high prices. Number 20. Pong. The 1975 release of Pong changed home entertainment forever. Pong was a simple video game where 2 players moved paddles to bounce a ball back and forth on a screen, much like table tennis. Though it might sound basic by today's standard, Pong was revolutionary as one of the first widely accessible video games and marked the beginning of the home gaming industry. The exciting part was that it was not just for children. Families gathered around to play, drawn by its interactive nature. Pong set the stage for future video game consoles and sparked a new kind of family bonding. Pong is remembered as the game that started it all for home gaming. Though it may look simple now, Pong's influence on the gaming industry can't be overstated, making it a nostalgic favorite among tech and gaming enthusiasts. Which of these 1960s or 1970s toys is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more awesome videos. See you next time!